Sorry, my phone's going. Hello? Stephen Moffat, is that you? No, how did you get this number? This number is private, how could you get this number? This number's never been publicised. You're coming for me? No. He's coming for me. Stephen Moffat is coming for me. Hello and welcome to YouTube Gallifrey 02, and in this video I will be counting down my top 10 Torchwood stories. So yes, I've been wanting to do this video in a while, but I decided to wait until after series 10, as normally after a Doctor Who series people decide to watch the spin-offs as they want more of Doctor Who, and they also go and check out Classic Who as well. So yes, today I will be counting down my top 10 Torchwood stories, and I will be doing my top 10 Sarah Jane Adventures stories as well soon. So yes, starting the list at number 10, we do have the fourth series of Torchwood, Torchwood Miracle Day. So yes, in my eyes, Torchwood Miracle Day is very overrated, and all I hear about the story is quite negative, as yes, this story does drag a bit, but I do really like this story, and I did a survey on Whovian and Amino, and yeah, about 30% of people really like this series, and only about 5% hated it. So yes, it's a very underrated series, Torchwood Miracle Day. It's worth checking out. It does drag a bit, but you know, it develops loads the story, and yes, basically Torchwood Miracle Day, nobody dies all across the world for months on end, and yes, it's a political situation. They're running out of food, people are getting seriously injured and in pain while they're still alive, but they can't die. It's a really good and gripping series in my opinion, but it could have been a few less episodes than 10, as 10 was pretty long, to be honest. It was originally going to be 13 though. So yes, at number 9 we do have From Out of the Ray. So yes, this is from series 2 of Torchwood, and basically this part of film comes to life and it starts going around hunting people down, and it's from a travelling circus, and it basically wants to take people into a circus. And yeah, very creepy episode of Torchwood, I must admit, and yeah, very like a horror movie in a way, and yeah, really good episode of Torchwood in my opinion, and again quite underrated. At number 8 we do have another underrated one, and this is Combat. Now Combat is episode 11 of series 1 of Torchwood, and is written by Noel Clarke, who is Mickey in Doctor Who. And yes, I do think this episode is very good. Quite brutal, this episode, so yeah, if you don't like violence and stuff like that, I would say miss out this episode. But you know, I quite like this episode, and yeah, quite an underrated one as well. I always like the penultimate episodes of series. At number 7 we do have Fragments. So yes, Fragments is an episode which basically tells the backstory about all the Torchwood members and how they got in to Torchwood. Really interesting episode. We get to see Captain Jack's backstory and all the other Torchwood members' backstories, and yeah, a really good build up to the finale of series 2. At number 6 we do have the first episode of Torchwood, Everything Changes. Now Everything Changes was a great start to the show, introduced the vibe to the show really well, made it more clear that this is not Doctor Who and it's much darker than Doctor Who, and yeah, a proper good adult Doctor Who spin-off starter. And yeah, in my views, Torchwood is better than Class, as Class isn't really a spin-off as such, it's just in the same universe. This is a proper spin-off with Captain Jack Harkness. Really like Everything Changes, and yeah, very good episode in my opinion. At number 5, we don't have a Torchwood TV episode. This is Torchwood The Conspiracy, the first of the Torchwood Big Finish audios. So yes, Torchwood The Conspiracy is a very good episode of Torchwood. Basically, it's about Captain Jack going through a theory that the Earth is ruled by lizards, and every political leader on the planet is a lizard. And yeah, this was kind of revisited in The Return of Dr. Mysterio, with all the world leaders being taken over by these brain creatures. So yeah, kind of predicted the future of Doctor Who, this story, and I do think Stephen Moffat got a few ideas from The Conspiracy and put it in to The Return of Dr. Mysterio. At number 4 we do have Adrift. Now, Adrift is about this teenage boy who goes missing, and he comes back out of the rift, which is basically all around Cardiff, and it takes stuff and spurts stuff out, and he gets spurted back out. However, he has aged 40 years in only 7 months, so he has to deal with life, and he's picked up this condition, and he talks about this story of a mysterious man who rescued him from a burning planet, who I do think is no other than the Doctor. At number 3, we do have Something Borrowed. Now, Something Borrowed is centered around Gwen and Reese's wedding, and yeah, really do like this story. Quite light-hearted, this story, as a lot of the other stories aren't very light-hearted. They're not very for the light-hearted mind. They're more dark, a lot of the Torchwood episodes, and yeah, this gave quite a bit of a rest from that darkness, and yeah, a really good episode in my opinion. Something Borrowed, a definite 10 out of 10. From now on, they're all 10 out of 10s. So yes, at number 2, we do have Out of Time. Now, Out of Time is about these 3 people from the 1950s who come through the rift and end up in present-day Cardiff, and they have to adapt to present-day life. And yeah, a really good concept, this story, really, really good. One who adapts, one who wants to go back, and one who sadly commits suicide. So yeah, it shows the outcomes of what they think of everyday life. They've lost all their family, and yeah, quite a depressing story, but a very good piece of television. And at number 1, we do have the 3rd series of Torchwood, Torchwood Children of Earth. What a thrilling series this was. Absolutely magnificent, this series. Every child on the Earth stopped, and the Torchwood team had to figure out why. And yeah, what a gripping series this is. John Frobisher's in it, who is played by Peter Capaldi. So yeah, good series to check out. And yeah, really, really good action-packed series of Torchwood. Also very creepy as well, this series, just like a lot of Torchwood. So yes, that is the end of my list. Oh, my door's going, so yeah. See you later. It's arrived! Oh, here it is. My parcel at long last. What? No. He knows where I live. Oh dear. Stephen's coming for me.